All right, Alabama football fans, what's going on, everybody? This is Jan 716, aka Jan Sports, back here again. And today, want to quickly recap the Alabama versus Kentucky football game. Alabama's first game in 3 weeks, so this was really, really good to see after the postponement of the LSU football game. So this was really good to see Alabama play some football. 63-3, very, very dominant victory over Kentucky. By far Alabama's largest victory of the year, probably even last year too. I don't think we've had this big of a victory maybe since 2018 when Alabama beat Ole Miss. But yeah, this was a great win for the University of Alabama, especially because you can make an argument that this was a kind of a tune-up game. Right, this was kind of a tune-up game. Because next week coming up after that is the Auburn game, and Auburn is a better football team than Kentucky. Now Kentucky's they're not a pushover. They're a team that has a really good secondary. They got a physical front, even though they're kind of a little bit undersized. They still got a physical front, and this was the best defense statistically in the SEC. So we knew that Kentucky, they can beat they can challenge and they can hang up with some of the top teams in the SEC. We knew that Kentucky is a challenger. They're a scrappy opponent. So we knew that this was definitely going to be that Alabama was going to start off a little bit rough, especially because they haven't played in 3 weeks, and that's exactly what happened. Kentucky came with the game plan of pretty much just playing physical defense and pretty much controlling the majority of the clock, really speeding up the clock for the most part, wasting down the clock. That's a better saying, just wasting down the clock with their offense. Pretty much throwing a lot of underneath routes. And they just ran the football as well. So Kentucky had that success earlier on. Alabama did catch up with it. The defense definitely catch up with it, and it was pretty apparent Kentucky doesn't have a good passing attack, and we all knew that if Kentucky was going to have any success against Alabama, you're going to have to throw underneath them. And Alabama tried to, I think they tried to play a little bit conservatively. I think definitely a little ring rust happened with this Alabama football team at first, but once they actually caught on, and you can see it. These players did not respect Kentucky's deep ball game, and it was to a point now where every time you would see some Kentucky players, whether it was a little drag route or a little slant to the inside, or or a little hitch. I mean, whatever it was, these Bama players would come down quick as hell, and they would try to pop these players. They would try to pick the ball off. They would break, they would make a play on the ball. It was pretty much predictable. Now, again, I got to give Alabama's players credit, too, because again, it's great instincts, for these players to come up, and it's a testament to their hard work, and it's a testament for them to watch the film. But Kentucky doesn't really have we all know they don't have a passing game. Terry Wilson's not a good quarterback. Joey Gatewood is still unproven, and they had to put a freshman quarterback in Allen in there to try to solve some of their issues. But so, Alabama's secondary for the most part, this defense, they did what they were supposed to do. They were really good in open field tackling. They controlled the line of scrimmage for the most part. I mean, again, they struggled a little bit earlier because Kentucky was able to run the ball pretty effectively. But then after that, the defense was pretty much very, very effective against the run. So the defensive line pretty much held the line of scrimmage together. They were able to put pressure on the quarterback. This defense did exactly what they were supposed to do. This was just a simple fact that Alabama is just a better football team than Kentucky. I think this is exactly what happened. Now, again, this is an SEC opponent. This is not like we're playing a Citadel or Louisiana Monroe or anything like that. This is Kentucky. This is a team that has 3 wins in the SEC, and Kentucky's a very scrappy team. So we all knew that this was Kentucky was going to have they're going to have a lot more talent than a lot of the teams that Alabama's faced prior. And I'm just talking about the FCS, those type of opponents. So, yeah, pretty impressed that Alabama was able to shut out a pretty scrappy and tough Kentucky team. Not shut them out, but pretty much dominate them 63-3 like that. But, yeah, this defense did exactly what they were supposed to do. No shock there. As far as the players that impressed me on the defensive side of the ball, I was very impressed with Jordan Battle. He was able to come up, lay the boom on some of these players. The fact that he almost had 2 picks. He had 1 pick six. He almost had another pick six. He was really, really good in pass coverage. Great in open field tackling. Was impressed with him. Malachi Moore continues to impress. I mean, again, he's definitely in the conversation as one of our best defensive players by far. He's made an impact since day one. So, and especially for Malachi Moore, a guy that kind of struggled in the first 3 weeks and a player that's now just getting better and better as time goes on. So that's just very impressive from Malachi Moore. I was impressed with, Surtain. I would say Byron Young. I saw Fadarian Mathis. He was able to make some plays. Christian Harris and Dylan Moses were able to make some plays. So, yeah, I mean, just the entirety of the defense was really, really good today. Again, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. And that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, especially when you're going against Auburn. You keep that consistency of really good open field tackling, especially against a good running team like Auburn. You need that going in next week against Bo Nix and Tanks Bigsby and Sean Shivers. So, focusing on the offense side of the ball, we started off slow, but eventually we got things going. The offensive line struggled a little bit. They got things going. Now, I think a pretty big reason is rust. I think another reason why is because Kentucky pretty much controlled the time of possession, the majority of the time possession in the first half, and Alabama just kept making explosive plays. Now, despite Kentucky controlling the time of possession more times than Alabama did, Alabama was still destroying them. I mean, again, this offensive line, it proves why it's the best offensive line in the country. Alabama struggled in the run game, but was able to pick it up. Was able to pick it up a little bit more with Najee Harris. Devontae Smith was a monster. He was a monster out there today. Also broke the Alabama receiving touchdown record by Amari Cooper and in SEC history. So congratulations to him. I was also glad to see Jaleel Billingsley finally involved in the offense. We've had some injuries today. Slade Bolden got hurt today on punt return duties. So we need players to step up. And we saw some of the young players like Baker out there. We saw Trayshawn Holden out there. But Billingsley, he was involved in the offense, 78 yards. We need that. We need more players to be involved in the offense because Devontae Smith can't be the only player that we throw to. John Mechie was a little bit more involved. We all know John Mechie is going to be, a pretty valuable player for them on, as the X receiver. But we need more players to step up, especially in the receiving game with Mac Jones, because you can kind of see a little bit of drop off, for Mac Jones in the first 4 weeks compared to now. So again, I was really, really glad. I'm really, really glad to see Billingsley involved more in the offense. Hopefully we can keep that going and involve more young players in our offense, especially at the receiving positions. But yeah, for the most part, we was able to get the running game going. Passing attack, for the most part, was decent. I know Mac Jones threw an interception, but, again, I think that was not one of his best balls. He threw it, and he threw the deep ball, threw it inside. Kelvin Joseph had phenomenal man-on-man coverage against Devontae Smith. And again, Kelvin Joseph is one of the best cornerbacks in the country. Kelvin Joseph could, if he declares for the NFL draft, he could be a first-round pick. So that's, for Devontae Smith to not beat Kelvin Joseph on that pretty much on that go route, it's not a bad thing. I mean, Kelvin Joseph is a monster. But Mac Jones made a mistake there. Is this going to kill his Heisman candidacy? I don't think so, because not a lot of good quarterbacks had a good day. Trevor Lawrence, again, couldn't play today. Justin Fields didn't have the greatest day as well. Kyle Trask had a pretty good day for the most part. But again, I think that if they do duel in the SEC championship game, then I think the winner of that honestly is going to win the Heisman Trophy. So I think Mac Jones has nothing to worry about with today's performance. Still completed over 70% of his passes. So there's just not that much to worry about for Mac Jones in the performance that he had today. Could it be better? Yes. But overall wise, I was pleased with Mac as more of a game managing role today than just being that superstar type of quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks, we got to talk about Bryce Young. Bryce Young, again, he completed 2 passes. He attempted 2 passes, but man, were they just perfect product placement throws, man. They were just perfect product placement throws. The one deep route to Devontae Smith was just in the basket, on the money. You just can't draw a better throw than that. You can't draw a better play design and a better throw than what Bryce Young did. And the second throw, after he took a sack on the goal line, the way that he was able to invade the pass rusher, slide to his right side, and then and just the way he kind of just side through the ball. He put little effort into that ball, yet you wouldn't even realize it. Like, you would think that he put a lot of zip, put a lot of power. He just threw it effortlessly. He threw it effortlessly. So effort is, I can't even say the goddamn word, because that's how shocked I was by the way Bryce Young threw that ball. But again, effortlessly, Bryce Young threw that ball, man. I mean, I can't even talk. Normally I can say the word, but I can't even say the word because of just, Bryce Young was just that throw on the outside is a lot. Not a lot of NFL quarterbacks can make that throw. I think maybe 4 NFL quarterbacks could potentially make that throw. And I'm not even exaggerating. I watch a lot of NFL football, man. Not a lot of quarterbacks has that type of zip, that type of power that you don't even got to put that much into it. I don't think it looked like Bryce Young barely put any effort on that ball. Again, I can talk about that for 20 minutes, but I'm gonna move on. I'm just gonna move on to a different thing. But yeah, I loved that throw, and I love that play by Bryce Young, showing why he's a 5-star quarterback coming out of modern day, why he was the number 1 quarterback in the country back in 27, back when the 24/7 Sports composite rankings ranked him. Again, Bryce Young is the future. I was a little disappointed that we didn't see him a lot more, but overall wise, I am pleased that Bryce Young was able to at least get his first touchdown pass to boost his overall confidence going forward. And again, there's a lot of things he still needs to learn, but the development of Bryce Young, I think, continues to. You can see the improvement, you can see the confidence every time Bryce Young steps in there. So was glad to see Bryce Young make some throws. Jace McKellen and Rodale Williams were very impressive, especially Jace McKellen. He was our leading rusher with 99 yards. He came in the second half, and for the most part, we had our backup offensive lineman in, but every time he would get hit, he wouldn't go down after first contact. He would continue to go forward after the first hit. Jace McKellen was extremely impressive. His vision, his footwork, the speed that he had, the explosive ability. I love Najee Harris, but he lacks that explosiveness. He lacks that. If he sees a hole, he's just going to quickly just explode through it. He's going to accelerate through it. Najee Harris kind of lacks that. Najee Harris is more of a patient, powerful, powerful, but also a guy that has that, he runs with a lot of power. Again, that the peripheral vision that he has, the elusiveness, the footwork that he has. Najee Harris just lacked that explosive burst, and I think that's what Rodale Williams and Jace McKellen kind of provided. Even Trey Sanders kind of provided there. But, I noticed the confidence of Jace McKellen. He was very confident from his first snap. Rodale Williams had a little bit of experience, but he was pretty confident too as well. I think Alabama is just in good hands. We had a lot of young players today that played. I thought, even our center, Darian Delcourt, who's the backup center, played extremely well. Again, this video could be literally 30 minutes long, just talking about some of the backup players. And again, I'll probably make another video talking about just how good the backup players were today. But yeah, man, I was extremely impressed by this victory. 63-3. We got Auburn next week, and then after that we got Arkansas. But like I said, we can't look forward. That's that rat poison. We got Auburn. We got to get some revenge on Auburn, right? As much as we're all looking forward to whipping LSU's ass, we need that Auburn game. We need that Auburn game just as bad as the LSU game. These are our rivals. Auburn, these fans, you guys know they will talk as much crap as they can. Leading up to next week. Obviously, we'll find out after the Auburn-Tennessee game if Auburn has a chance against Alabama. I mean, they're always going to have a chance. But being in Tuscaloosa with the momentum that we have after today's win, I am confident going against Auburn that we can go out there and pull that W. But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video, hit the subscription button as well. It really helps out the channel a lot, especially if you want more Jan 716 content as well, man. Especially if you want more content from me, just subscribing will definitely just notify me that you guys definitely want to stay up to date with content coming out. So anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And again, yeah, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe, notification bell. And yeah, that's all I got. So anyway, Jan 716, aka Jan Sports, I'm out. Peace.